Canada is a country often associated with stability, security, and calm, but beneath that calm lies one of the most exciting investment landscapes on the planet. While the United States may lead in scale, Canada leads in sustainability and innovation. Its economy thrives on resourcefulness, forward-thinking policies, and a growing network of high-value industries. For investors looking to build wealth intelligently, this is a golden moment. In this breakdown, we'll explore the 5 best investment business ventures in Canada, sectors that are modern, scalable, and built for long-term growth in a country that prizes balance between progress and sustainability. Let's start with the first, green energy and sustainable infrastructure. Canada is blessed with natural resources and a strong commitment to environmental responsibility. The country's federal and provincial governments have heavily incentivized renewable energy development, making green infrastructure one of the safest and most profitable investment paths available. Solar, wind, hydro, and hydrogen are not only being funded, they're being industrialized. The push toward net zero emissions is accelerating partnerships between public institutions and private investors. But it's not just large-scale energy projects. There's a booming demand for startups and firms that specialize in energy storage, smart grids, and carbon capture technology. Investors who focus on enabling technologies like digital energy platforms, installation companies, or efficiency analytics can tap into the trillion-dollar transition that's reshaping the global economy. In short, clean energy in Canada isn't a trend, it's a generational pivot. The second opportunity is PropTech and real estate modernization. With its growing population and influx of skilled immigrants, Canadian housing demand continues to rise, but the industry is undergoing transformation. PropTech firms are using artificial intelligence to forecast pricing, streamline transactions, and democratize access to property ownership. Crowdfunding real estate platforms, fractional ownership apps, and property management automation tools are growing fast, especially in major hubs like Toronto, Vancouver, and Calgary. For investors, this means there's not only potential in traditional real estate, but also in the technologies that power it. The greatest profits over the next decade won't come from physical construction, they'll come from software, data, and platforms that improve housing access, transparency, and efficiency. Third, financial technology, fintech, and digital banking. Canada's financial system is globally respected for its stability, yet that very stability creates room for innovation. A wave of fintech startups are challenging traditional banks with digital-first solutions, from payment platforms to small business lending, and even decentralized finance models built on blockchain. Toronto is emerging as a fintech capital, with venture funds actively backing startups focused on financial inclusion and AI-powered credit systems. For investors, early equity in these platforms is where exponential returns live. The next PayPal or Revolut could very well be Canadian, especially as regulatory frameworks become more fintech-friendly. The fintech ecosystem here also overlaps with Canada's growing crypto infrastructure, digital ID systems, and cross-border payment technologies, a perfect storm of efficiency and accessibility. Next, we turn to artificial intelligence and automation. Canada's AI ecosystem is unique. It is built around both world-class research and government support. Montreal, Toronto, and Edmonton are recognized globally as AI hubs, home to companies and research labs advancing deep learning, robotics, and automation. The beauty of Canada's AI market is that it isn't confined to Silicon Valley-style startups. It's integrated into healthcare, manufacturing, and agriculture. This makes AI one of the most versatile investments in the country. From data labeling and predictive analytics to automation software for logistics or healthcare systems, investors have a chance to participate in scalable ventures with international reach. The returns may take time, but the growth curve is steep and supported by a country that sees AI not as a luxury, but as infrastructure. Finally, the fifth major opportunity, digital education and upskilling platforms. As automation and technology transform industries, Canada's labor force must evolve. The result? A nationwide boom in e-learning, professional training, and workforce development platforms, from coding boot camps to AI-driven education models. The demand for skill transformation has never been greater. The key here isn't just building educational content, but building ecosystems, platforms that connect students to employers, certification networks, and even micro-investment opportunities for training. Investors who back these skill-tech ventures can enjoy long-term recurring income as lifelong learning becomes the norm. Canada's population is young, tech-aware, and increasingly remote in its work patterns, the perfect environment for growth in digital education. Now let's bring this together. Green energy, PropTech, fintech, AI, and skill-tech aren't isolated industries. They form the pillars of a new Canadian economy. One that's digital, sustainable, and globally integrated. For investors, the opportunity isn't in chasing hype, but in identifying connections where technology enables real-world change. The most successful investors in Canada are those who think holistically, who fund infrastructure that enables innovation, who support startups that solve national challenges, and who build equity in systems that grow by design. So where should you start? If you're an international investor, begin by researching government-backed programs like the Canada Infrastructure Bank, the Strategic Innovation Fund, and local accelerator programs in major cities. These are pipelines to early-stage ventures with institutional support, safer, more structured, and often co-funded by public money. If you're a domestic investor, look for scalable partnerships, small private equity positions, joint ventures, or seed-stage tech startups with recurring revenue models. And above all, remember that in Canada, the most powerful business ventures are those that combine profit with purpose. Because in this country, the future of investing isn't just about growth. It is about building systems that endure, sustainable wealth that supports both the investor and the world around them. That's how Canada creates prosperity quietly, steadily, and for generations to come.